Good morning. This is Lynn Sugiyama. I'd like to read from the Gubunsho. These are the letters written by Renyo Shonin, and this particular letter is for today's Ho-onko service. This is in observance and in gratitude to the teachings of Shinan Shonin since he has passed away. So this is called the annual memorial observance for Shinan Shonin. Among those of you who have come during the annual memorial observance for Shinan Shonin to attend and pay reverence to him with sincere wishes to express your appreciation for his benevolence, some have already attained the entrusting heart, while others have not. This is a matter of great importance. For if you have not attained the entrusting heart, your birth in the fulfilled land after this life is uncertain. So those of you who lack the entrusting heart should strive to settle your mind quickly. The human world is a realm of uncertainty, while the land of bliss is the realm of eternity. Hence, you should aspire for the eternal land of bliss instead of desiring to continue to inhabit this human world of uncertainty. If you do not know why, in our tradition, the entrusting heart is placed before anything else. All is in vain. In quickly attaining the settled mind, you should aspire for birth in the Pure Land. The popular belief held by people of this world is that they simply recite the Nembutsu. They will be born in the land of bliss. This idea is completely untrue. Attaining the trusting heart of other power is nothing other than understanding fully the significance of the sixth character name Namo Amida Butsu. This is what is meant in attaining the entrusting heart. As to the essentials of the entrusting heart, the largest sutra states, carrying the name, one attains the entrusting and joyful heart. Master Shantao says, Namo means to take refuge, and it further signifies aspiring and directing virtue. Amida Butsu implies the practice. The first two characters, Namo, signify the mind to abandon various practices and to entrust oneself single-mindedly and unwaveringly to Amida Buddha. Next, the implication of the four characters, Amida Butsu, is that Amida readily saves those sentient beings who entrust themselves to him with the singleness of heart. This is what Amida Butsu means. Understanding Namo Amida Butsu in this way is what I mean by attaining the entrusting heart. Those who have this understanding are the Nembutsu practitioners who have truly realized the entrusting heart of other power. Humbly and respectfully, please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you so much for listening. This is the conclusion of the Gubunsho. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. This is Lynn Sugiyama speaking on behalf of the Arizona Buddhist Temple here in Phoenix, Arizona. I want to thank you for always supporting us and watching us on the Arizona Buddhist Temple Facebook webpage and also on the YouTube channel Dharma in the Desert. Today, we're here for the Ho-onko Dharma Talk. Ho-onko is the time that we commemorate the life of Honan Shonin, who was the founder of our tradition, Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, or Shin Buddhism. And so he passed away January 16th, 1263. So I'd like to begin with a reading, with a passage from the Kyogyo Shinsho written by Honan Shonin. It goes like this. Even when the world is filled with great fire, pass through it and hear the Dharma, the Buddhist teachings. Then you will unfailingly become a Buddha, a world-honored one, and free all beings from birth, aging, and death. Please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namandabutsu. I want to say hello and Happy New Year to all of you. The Arizona Buddhist Temple is having its Ho-onko Dharma Talk today. And so again, this commemorates the life of Honan Shonin. It is the time that we express our gratitude for Honan Shonin and his sharing of his teachings with all of us. And so it's truly amazing that we've been able to listen to these teachings for the past some 800 years, and that we're continuing to share these teachings with people not only at the Arizona Buddhist Temple, but all around the world. So I wanted to start by talking about a little bit of the history of Ho-onko. So this was started by Honan Shonin's great-grandson, Kakunyo. And so he was a Buddhist priest who was very interested in understanding the Pure Land teachings that were taught by Honan Shonin, his great-grandfather. And so he was lucky in that he was able to meet with a cousin who was a direct disciple of Honan Shonin. And so through his cousin, he learned about the teachings. And also Kakunyo met several disciples who were taught directly from Honan Shonin also. And so Kakunyo developed a very good and deep understanding of the Shin Buddhist teachings that were taught by Honan Shonin. And so about 30 years after Honan Shonin passed away, Kakunyo wanted to hold a memorial service for his great-grandfather. And so that's how Ho-onko began in 1294, in 1294 AD. And so we've been observing Ho-onko service for the past 727 years. And so I think it's a great event, a long-held event that we're able to honor Honan Shonin with the service, with this Ho-onko service. And to tell you a little bit of background about Honan, he passed away on January 16th, 1263. And so he was 89 years old when he passed away. And so he lived a very long time. And so because of his long life, we are able to hear many, many stories about the things he did in teaching the Pure Land teachings, and also about the things he did in his life. And so in Shinan's young life, he had some tragedies. As a young child, around 7 or 8, he lost both his parents. So his uncle, Lord Hino Noritsuna, he took care of Shinran and his brothers. And this was all in Kyoto, Japan. And Kyoto was also the headquarters of Mount Hiei. Mount Hiei was the main temple for Tendai Buddhism. And so Mount Hiei was not only a great place to learn the Buddhist teachings, but also a place to earn a good education. And so Shinan's uncle, Lord Noritsuna, wanted his nephew to have a good education. And so, with the permission of the imperial court, Lord Hino Noritsuna took his nephew up to Mount Hiei. So Shinan Shonin was about 9 years old at that time. And so it was late in the day when the uncle and Shinan got to Mount Hiei. And there they met Master Jien. And he was one of the top priests at Mount Hiei. And he was the master who was going to admit students to the monastery. And so in talking to the uncle and to Shinan, they talked about having this young boy enter the monastery. But the master thought that Shinan was a little bit too young and too maybe immature to enter the monastery. But as Master Jien talked to this young boy, he realized how intelligent, how smart Shinan was. And so after giving it some thought, Master Jien decided that he would have Shinan enter the monastery as a 9-year-old boy. And so in order to enter the monastery, he was going to give tonsure to Shinan Shonin. So tonsure means to shave the head of this young boy to enter the monastery. So Master Jin, since it was late in the evening, told the uncle and Shinan Shonin that he was going to do it the next morning. So when Shinan Shonin heard this, he wanted to have this done sooner. And so he composed a poem and gave it to Master Jien. And so the poem he wrote goes like this. It is in vain to wait until tomorrow. Life is like the blossoming cherry tree. A storm may come in the night, and the passing winds scatter the cherry blossoms. And so this was a beautiful poem written by Shinan Shonin. But I think the poem was telling people not to procrastinate. And so the poem was talking about not holding things off until tomorrow, and that things could be done today if needed. And so this poem really impressed Master Jien. And so Master Jien decided to give tonsure to Shilan that evening. And so Master Jian and another disciple gave tonsure to Shinan Shonin. They shaved the head of Shinan Shonin in order to enter the monastery at Mount Hie. And so at Mount Hie, Shinan Shonin received a great education. He learned how to write the kanji, the Chinese characters, in order to read the sutras, the Buddhist sutras that were held at Mount Hie. And so as time went on, everyone realized how intelligent Shinan Shonin was. And so he rose to become a great monk at Mount Hie. But as he grew older, he felt that the Buddhist teachings were not giving him the spiritual salvation he was looking for. But then when he was in his about 28, 29, he heard about another Buddhist priest at Mount Hie named Master Honan. Master Honan. And he was teaching about the Pure Land and the salvation of the Amida Buddha through the saying of Namo Amida Butsu. I take refuge in the Amida Buddha. And so at the age of 29, Shinan Shonin became a disciple of Master Honan. And again, through Master Honan, Shinan Shonin learned about this easy practice of saying the name of Namo Amida Butsu. And that in learning about Amida Buddha's promise, that when we say the name, that all of us can attain birth in the Pure Land. The Pure Land is the place that we attain supreme happiness and peace, the place of enlightenment. And so, the earlier reading from the Kyogyo Shinsho, what I read at the beginning, Shinan Shonin, he was not at peace of mind at Mount Hie. His mind was like this world of fire that I had described earlier. But it was through the teachings of Shinan, of Master Honan, that he found the spiritual peace he was looking for. And that Amida Buddha, through his promise that Shinan Shonin was never going to be abandoned by Amida Buddha, that through his wisdom and compassion, all beings, all sentient beings are able to enter the Pure Land to attain enlightenment. And so Shinan Shonin, he was able to travel around parts of Japan, spreading this teaching, and he gained many followers. Many other disciples wanted to learn from Shinan Shonin, and so he became this great spiritual leader to many people in Japan. And so this is why, in gratitude, we have this Ho-onko service, this Dharma Talk on Ho-onko in honor of Shinan Shonin. So I hope that all of us continue to learn the Buddhist teachings and to understand the gratitude that we have for the recitation of Namo Amida Butsu and the teachings given to us by Shinan Shonin. So I want to thank all of you for listening. Again, Happy New Year. I'm so thankful that all of you are able to listen to this Ho-onko Dharma talk. So in closing, I'd like to again read from Shinan Shonin's writing of from the Kyogyo Shinsho. This is the passage. Even when the world is filled with great fire, pass through it and hear the Dharma, the Buddha's teachings. Then you will unfeignedly become a Buddha, a world-honored one, and free all beings from birth, aging, and death. Please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you for listening. Please have a good day. Thank you.